Honourable member from York Centre.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to inform you I am splitting my time with the honourable member from Winnipeg North. I am here today to ask for the support of the House for Bill C4, which will repeal the legislative amendments enacted by Bills C377 and C525 of the previous Parliament. Madam Speaker, I am proud to call York Centre home to a large number of businesses and manufacturers. I've met and heard stories of businesses that started in people's garages and have grown into international brands. These range from storefronts to factories, many of which are local success stories that now have national and even international reach. Not so coincidentally, York Centre is also home to a large number of union and unionized workers. These are employees across a broad spectrum, from construction and the skilled trades to factory workers, administrative employees, teachers, and public services. It's no coincidence that my riding is home to so many thriving businesses and labour organisations. Both go together and have to work together for our economy to thrive. As we have stated before, our government believes that fair and balanced labour relations are absolutely essential for the prosperity of Canadian workers and for our country's economic growth.
Yeah.
Both employers and unions play critical roles in ensuring that workers receive decent wages and are treated fairly in safe and healthy work environments. And it is our labour laws that help ensure there is a balance between the rights of unions and the rights of employers. But in the previous Parliament, a number of pieces of legislation were passed that changed our labour relations system. Bill C377 and C525, private members' bills supported by the previous government, upset the delicate balance between unions and employers. Madam Speaker, under Bill C377, labour organisations and labour trusts are required to provide the Canada Revenue Agency with details of their assets, liabilities, income and expenditures, as well as salaries paid to their officers, directors, and other specified employees. They are also required to provide information on the time spent by officers on political lobbying and non-labour relations activities. This information is then to be made publicly available on the CRA's website. Madam Speaker, this creates unnecessary red tape for unions. Under the Canada Labour Code, unions in federally regulated workplaces, as well as employers' organizations, are already required to provide their financial statements to their own members free and on demand. It's worth noting that 8 provinces have similar financial disclosure requirements. Why should unions be subjected to these onerous and redundant reporting requirements? Requirements that don't apply to other organizations that also benefit from similar status under the Income Tax Act, such as professional organizations. Then there's the issue of this information being made publicly available. Publishing this information on the CRA's website means that employers will have access to key union information, including how much they have set aside in a strike fund. It's not difficult to see how this puts the unions at a serious disadvantage during the collective bargaining process. Essentially, Bill C377 imbalances the system. This brings me to Bill C525, which also tilts the scales in favour of employers. Prior to Bill C525, federally regulated private sector workers who wanted to organize could do so in a relatively simple and straightforward manner. If a majority of employees signed a union card, they could go to the Canada Industrial Relations Board, show them the signed union cards, and the CIRB could certify them as the bargaining agent for those workers. If less than a majority of employees signed union cards, but at least 35% did, a certification vote could be held. The card check system worked well for many years. So why was it replaced by a system that many stakeholders, such as the Canadian Union of Public Employees, feel is less efficient and more vulnerable to employer interference? Under Bill C-525, unions are required to show at least 40% membership support before holding a secret ballot vote, making it more difficult to get the right to vote. In addition, even when the majority of workers have clearly demonstrated their support by signing a union membership card, a secret ballot vote must be held before they can be certified as a bargaining agent. The card check system, which is based on obtaining majority support, is no less democratic than a mandatory vote system. It has also proven to be an efficient and effective way to gauge employee wishes. According to the National Union of Public and General Employees, this two-stage process essentially forces those in favour of a union to vote twice. And by slowing the process, the employer has the opportunity to intimidate, harass, and unethically induce employees to vote no. Not all employers would attempt to prevent unions from organizing. However, there are examples of those who have. The bottom line is that Bills C-377 and C-525 put unions at a disadvantage and make it more difficult for Canadian workers to unionize in the first place. Why would we want to make life more difficult for unions and the workers they represent? We recognize the important role that unions play in protecting the rights of Canadians. As Canadian Labour Congress President Hassan Yousaf stated, Bills C-377 and C-525 were nothing more than an attempt to undermine unions' abilities to do important work like protecting jobs, promoting health and safety in the workplace, and advocating on behalf of all Canadian workers. Madam Speaker, the federal labour relations system used to be respected and supported by both labour and employers as a result of genuine and proven consultative and consensus processes that have been followed for decades with respect to amending the Labour Code. As I mentioned earlier, the prosperity of Canadian workers and the Canadian economy rely on those same fair and balanced labour relations. Repealing the legislative amendments made by Bills C-377 and C-525 will help restore that balance. Madam Speaker, I sincerely hope that all of my colleagues in this House will support Bill C4 so we can achieve this. Thank you.